Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. Kenneth Grant's selection by the Miami Dolphins as the 13th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft came with shockwaves, praise, and now skepticism. At 6 inches and tipping the scales at a colossal 331 pounds, the former Michigan defensive tackle fits the physical mold of a traditional run-stuffer. A space-eating monster meant to clog up the trenches, and yet, despite his raw power and size, not everyone is buying into the hype. Brent Sobleski of Bleacher Report has raised an eyebrow or both by listing Grant among his candidates most likely to disappoint in their rookie NFL season. That's right, just months after his name was called with fanfare in the first round, some are already whispering the dreaded B word, bust. And in today's NFL media landscape, once that label is floated, it's like trying to put toothpaste back in the tube it sticks, and it spreads fast. Sobleski's critique isn't centered on Grant's talent alone, it's about context, timing, and expectations. A nose tackle being drafted at no. 13 is rare, really rare. You don't typically see that position get so much first-round love, unless the prospect is viewed as generational, someone in the mold of a Dexter Lawrence or Haloti Ngata. Those are not just solid NFL players, those are franchise-defining disruptors. So when Miami used such premium draft capital on Grant, it immediately opened the door to deeper scrutiny. And while Grant has shown flashes of brilliance, especially with his pass rushing upside at Michigan, that may not be enough to quiet critics if his rookie campaign starts slow or worse goes unnoticed entirely. The role of a nose tackle isn't glamorous, it's a gritty, selfless position that rarely fills the stat sheet. As Sobleski put it, most won't appreciate his primary job of taking up space and keeping his teammates clean so they can make plays, and therein lies the conundrum. If Grant does his job well, the average fan and even some analysts might not notice, but if he makes a couple of wrong reads, gets blown off the ball once or twice, or simply lacks flash plays, the criticism could come down hard. For a 13th overall pick, expectations are unfairly but undeniably tied to immediate impact. And nose tackles just aren't built for box score glory. Still, let's not pretend Grant doesn't bring tools to the table. This isn't some lumbering lineman who's there just to plug gaps. In his final season at Michigan, Grant flashed surprising burst in power, showing that he could collapse the pocket and make life miserable for quarterbacks. His motor runs hot, his technique has improved steadily, and scouts have praised his football IQ. The question isn't whether Kenneth Grant can be great, it's whether he can be great now. The NFL doesn't wait, and the microscope on first-rounders gets tighter by the week. If he doesn't show out early in training camp and dominate in preseason snaps, the bust narrative might take on a life of its own. There's also the Miami Dolphins factor to consider. This is a franchise that has spent years searching for consistency on defense, particularly in the trenches. By drafting Grant where they did, they didn't just bet on his talent, they signaled a philosophical commitment to winning the line of scrimmage, but betting on a nose tackle to be the centerpiece of that plan. In a league increasingly driven by high-octane offenses and explosive edge rushers, is a bold move. If it works, they'll be hailed as visionaries. If it doesn't, the front office will have to answer for a potential misfire. And make no mistake, first-round misses hurt more than ever in today's NFL. You can already imagine the headlines if Grant has a quiet first month. You'll see the hot takes rolling. Why did Miami reach? Was Kenneth Grant a mistake? And it won't be fair. The game he plays the dirty work in the middle doesn't show up in fantasy points or sack totals. But the spotlight doesn't care about fairness. It only asks, what have you done for me lately? And for Grant, the answer needs to be something tangible, something visible. Whether it's stuffing a 4th and 1 or bull rushing a guard into a quarterback's lap, he'll need highlight moments to stave off the doubters. It's also worth mentioning that college success doesn't always translate smoothly to the NFL, especially for defensive tackles. The speed, the technique, the physical demands, it's all cranked up to 11. Even top prospects often need time to adjust. And that's okay unless you're picked 13th overall. Then, the expectation is that you're NFL ready from day one. So while Grant's ceiling remains high, perhaps even Pro Bowl caliber, his rookie year will be judged not by what he could become, but by what he produces now. That's a heavy burden to place on a young man whose job is, paradoxically, to not be noticed. The pressure intensifies once training camp opens. Beat reporters, fans, and coaching staff alike will watch every rep with scrutiny. If Grant flashes dominance swallowing up double teams, penetrating gaps, showing quick hands, it could rewrite the early narrative, but if he looks slow, overwhelmed, or inconsistent, the criticism will snowball. Preseason, too, will be a proving ground. Though often dismissed as meaningless, it offers Grant a chance to showcase his ability against live competition. The stakes, huge. Not just for Grant's reputation, but for the credibility of the Dolphins front office. After all, when you take a space eater at 13, he better be worth every inch of the real estate. In the end, whether Kenneth Grant becomes a bust or a breakout won't be decided by Brent Sobleski, Bleacher Report, or even preseason tape. It will be decided on Sundays when the pads are on, the games count, and reputations are made or broken. Grant has the tools, he has the size, he has the college pedigree. What he doesn't have yet is the benefit of time. And in a league this fast, this unforgiving, time is the most valuable currency a rookie can have. If Grant earns it, he might just silence the doubters. If not, his journey could become yet another cautionary tale in the annals of first round expectations. So buckle up, Dolphins fans, this ride's just getting started. Whether Kenneth Grant becomes the next anchor of Miami's defense or a footnote in draft history will depend on how he handles the spotlight, the pressure, and the grind. The path ahead isn't easy, but that's the point. Greatness never is. And for a guy whose job is to handle the heavy lifting, the biggest weight he'll carry this year might just be the expectations. Still with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments, what's your take on the Fins this week? The NFL world is buzzing, and if the rumors are true, we may have just witnessed one of the most shocking quarterback trades in recent memory. Whispers started floating early this morning, and now insiders are cautiously confirming that the Miami Dolphins have executed a lightning-fast trade with the Los Angeles Chargers. And yes, you heard it right, Justin Herbert is reportedly heading to South Beach. No official announcement yet, but multiple sources close to both organizations are hinting that the deal is done or dangerously close. This isn't just a splash, it's a tidal wave. Justin Herbert, the franchise face of the Chargers since 2020, may be suiting up in aqua and orange sooner than anyone could have imagined. The NFL offseason just got nuclear, folks. And the Dolphins, they might be pushing all their chips to the center of the table. Let's rewind a bit. Justin Herbert was supposed to be the guy for Los Angeles. Drafted 6th overall in 2020, Herbert exploded onto the scene with a record-breaking rookie season and earned comparisons to some of the game's elite. He brought stability, swagger, and serious firepower to a Chargers franchise desperate for a new identity. So why and how would they even consider parting ways with him? That's the billion-dollar question floating around right now. There are whispers of internal disagreements, frustrations with recent offensive schemes, and even murmurs that Herbert himself might have been quietly seeking a fresh start. Meanwhile, the Dolphins, led by head coach Mike McDaniel, have been cautiously exploring options at QB, especially after Tua Tagovailoa's up-and-down performances and lingering health concerns. This isn't just about swapping quarterbacks, it's a seismic shift in identity for both franchises. For the Dolphins, acquiring Justin Herbert would signal the start of a new era, a bold, aggressive push toward Super Bowl contention. Imagine Herbert with that Dolphins offensive line protection and the speed of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. It's a dream scenario that fans in Miami are already fantasizing about. But again, we're still in rumor territory here. Nothing has been confirmed publicly by either organization. Yet the silence from both front offices is suspicious. Neither team has denied the reports, and in the world of NFL trades, silence often screams louder than words. Behind the scenes, it seems this deal came together rapidly. Sources suggest the talks began just days ago, and things escalated fast, lightning fast. That's unusual for a move of this magnitude. Normally, you'd expect weeks of negotiation, leaks, and strategic media planting, but in this case, it's like both sides were already halfway to yes when the phone call happened. Some believe this could have been in the works for longer, quietly kept under wraps. If true, that would explain the suddenness. It's also worth noting that the Chargers recently made a flurry of cap-related roster moves, which now look less like routine adjustments and more like preparation for a blockbuster trade. So what did the Dolphins give up? That's still under wraps, but insiders say it wasn't cheap. We're talking multiple first-round picks, a starting caliber defender, potentially even someone like Christian Wilkins, and possibly Tua himself, if Tua is involved. This could become a true QB for QB swap, with each team hoping a change of scenery reinvigorates their franchise. Some speculate Tua could be flipped to a third team, maybe even used as part of a bigger chess move by the Chargers. It's all speculation for now, but the idea of a multi-team trade involving multiple quarterbacks is the kind of madness that makes the NFL offseason so electrifying. Now, let's talk locker room chemistry. Herbert is known for being calm, methodical, and almost stoic, the opposite of the high-energy, emotion-driven Tua. If the Dolphins are indeed bringing him in, it suggests they want a quarterback with a different emotional profile, someone less reactive, more cerebral under pressure. And with Mike McDaniel's system, Herbert's arm strength and quick processing could thrive. Think deep bombs to Tyreek Hill in stride, precise seams to Waddle, and a rejuvenated running game that takes pressure off Herbert's shoulders. The potential here is frightening, in the best way possible, for the rest of the AFC, and for the Chargers, this could mean a complete rebuild, or at least a soft reboot. New quarterback, possibly new identity. Maybe they're looking at the draft. Maybe they're interested in a different free agent target. Either way, trading Herbert means they're ready to pivot in a bold direction. It's a risk, no doubt. But sometimes great franchises are built on big gambles. The real question is, what do they know that we don't? Are there injury concerns, personality clashes, or is it just about money? The salary cap has been tightening, and keeping elite quarterbacks under massive contracts can handcuff teams for years. As fans and analysts try to make sense of it all, social media is exploding. Dolphins Twitter is in a frenzy, dissecting every possible scenario. Some are thrilled at the idea of Herbert in Miami, others are hesitant, worried about what it'll cost. Chargers fans, meanwhile, are split, shocked, angry. Some even relieved if they felt the team was stuck in neutral, whatever happens next. This is one of those moments that defines a season, maybe even a decade. We're either watching two franchises transform before our eyes or getting front row seats to one of the biggest bluffs in NFL rumor history. Either way, you can't look away. And if this rumor holds up and Herbert really becomes a Dolphin, just imagine the AFC arms race. Herbert versus Allen, Mahomes, Burrow, and Lamar, all in one conference. The playoff picture would become a gauntlet. But the Dolphins wouldn't just be surviving in that picture, they'd be contending. Potentially favorites, Herbert brings playoff experience, leadership, and a skill set few can match. The AFC East, with the Bills and Jets looming, would turn into a weekly war zone. The NFL schedulers must be salivating at the primetime matchups this could create. Dolphins versus Chiefs, Herbert versus Mahomes. Sign us up. Of course, all of this could still blow over. Maybe the deal hits a snag, maybe it's smoke without fire. Maybe Herbert stays in LA, and we all look back at this in a week as just another offseason fever dream. But if even half of what's being whispered is true, buckle up. The Dolphins may have just changed the course of their franchise and the entire NFL landscape with a single, shocking move. Stay tuned, because if this becomes official, it might go down as one of the boldest trades in modern NFL history. And until then, let the speculation and the chaos continue. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up.